Listen close, truth not hide forever. Hey. Colonel Indios, Wyatt Army, stand up. Hey. Legacy media all around, headlines spinning round and round, selling fear from town to town, trying to keep the people down. Lies and fake news every day, misinformation on display. Disinformation lights the way, leading sheep so far astray. Little lambs in line, trusting everyone in sign, marching where them say is fine, never asking who designed. Truth gets traded for political gain, again and again and again, while ordinary people feel the strain, caught in somebody else's game. Resistance is futile, them say, just obey what you're told today. But the people waking up anyway, and the truth keeps finding a way. Resistance is futile, them cry, while their stories never quite comply. You can see it with your own two eyes. Truth lives on, it never dies. Them divide people left and right, turning neighbors into fights, clouding up what should be bright, hiding facts out of sight. They use people then discard, push narratives strong and hard. When the evidence leaves them scarred, them simply move the goalposts yard by yard. Cognitive dissonance in the air, contradictions everywhere, yet some still pretend not to care. Like the emperors got close to it, but a movement's growing every day, not from rage and not from hate, just folks who choose to investigate before it's far too late. Resistance is futile, them say, just obey what you're told today. But the people waking up anyway, and the truth keeps finding a way. Resistance is futile, them cry, while their stories never quite comply. You can see it with your own two eyes. Truth lives on, hey, it never dies. Come and get a daily dose of reality. No hysteria, no manufactured tragedy. Take a little break from propaganda and insanity, and step into a place of clarity. Inoculation against fake news infection, yellow journalism without direction. Question everything, make your own inspection. Truth should never fear examination. Join the colonel, hear the story. Without all the money, facts should glory. Facts before ideology, that's the art of honest reporting. The Wyatt Army isn't just a name, it's ordinary people in the game, thinking freely, not seeking fame, refusing to be led by shame. Just chill, relax and hear the scene, see what all the headlines mean. Objectivity sharp and clean like a river flowing crystal green. No need for panic, no need for fear. Take a look and make it clear. When the facts and evidence appear, the signal rises through the smear. Resistance is futile, them clear, yet more people question all the same, searching truth beyond the frame, and refusing to play the game. Resistance is futile, no more. People knocking on reality's door, seeking facts they're looking for, and finding what they can't ignore. Yeah man, truth shines brighter than confusion. The noise fades, the facts remain. Colonel Chris and the Wyatt Army, keeping it cool, keeping it real. Resistance is futile when the truth is coming true. Fade out. Truth, 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 truth. Ooh, truth, truth. Ah, da, 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 da. Truth, 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 truth.
Marvin Divine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations. conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Thursday, June 18th, 2026, and at this hour, Intel stock has surged 8.33%. I'm not sure why. Haven't checked in on SpaceX. Let's see what's going on with SpaceX. And a lot of people have actually bought themselves a share of that. SpaceX stock price today was going down down to 175. It's dropping. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. SpaceX dropping. It was 200 yesterday. Now it's down to 175. Well, there you go. So, there you go. Minus 8% today. Going the opposite direction of the shares of Intel. So what happens with initial public offerings? They tend to soar and then come back to earth. But you never know. If you bought Tesla when it came out, $1,000 worth of Tesla, I read the other day, it'd be worth $484,000 today if you held on to it. Wow. So we shall see. And Tesla is going to be a small fry compared to what's going to happen with SpaceX down the road. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the program. It's Chris live in central Pennsylvania on Thursday, June 18th, 2026. Let's get to our news for the day. We do have some things to talk about today. The first of which is, you might be wondering why the news now a little bit early. Well, it's because I have a dental appointment. I'm going to see, going to see my dentist here shortly. And after the dental appointment, I have an appointment with Lili van der Plas, who's come up here. A curfew in New York, I know nothing about that. That wasn't in the news this morning. Nothing about that. So the MK party, Mkhonto we Sizwe, has sacked Jacob Zuma's daughter. She's out, along with the former party spokesman, both booted out on their asses. Zuma fires Duduzille and Ndele from the MK party. MK party president Jacob Zuma has fired his errant daughter, Duduzille Zuma Sambula, and her close ally, ex-spokesman Nlamulolo Ndela. They announced this through Secretary General Namvolo during a press conference in Santon today. The party said it used Section 2 of its constitution, which empowers the president to hire and fire. The two had undermined organizational unity and discipline and cohesion within the party, not to mention having bad taste and wearing a dumbass nose ring. She, of course, is the daughter of the party leader, and she's been stripped of her responsibilities in Parliament, and now she's booted from the party and can no longer be part of it. In the case of Miss Duduzille Zuma Sambula, the party has noted repeated public statements and social media publications that have undermined organizational unity, promoted factional narratives, publicly discredited recognized party leadership structures, and challenged the legitimacy of party decisions, and brought internal organizational matters into the public domain. Well, and for that, she's out on her ear. MK Party Purge, yet another. This is a party that kicks more people out than it adds. The Mkhonto we Sizwe party has expelled Duduzille Zuma Sambula and former spokesman Lamu Ndela with immediate effect for bringing the party into disrepute. The membership has been terminated with immediate effect. And extreme prejudice. Extreme prejudice. The soccer, when is Bafana on? I don't even know when that game is on. I thought it was on 3 o'clock today. Let's see. 3 o'clock today. 12 o'clock. Oh, it's playing right now. Oh, okay. Well, let's go take a look at that. Hang on. No, I don't really care about Bafana. They're a bajoke. They were pathetic. Their goalie was atrocious. He gave the game away last time. They could have competed with Mexico, but they couldn't in the end. Let's go see if I can't find Bafana. Yeah, she'll move to the EFF, probably. Yeah. All right, so hang on. Let's see if we can find it there. It's very slow. All right. Why is it not? Let's go to sports, live TV. Why does it not just... Very annoying. There we go. FIFA World Cup browse. Let's go see. Okay, 12 p.m. It is 12 p.m. Well, it's not 12 yet. That's why. I can't get it yet. Got to wait. All right, so we'll get to that. It starts at 12. Bafana. We'll keep an eye on that for the time that I'm here, and we'll see how they do against Czech Republic. But not so good for Duduzille Zuma Sambula. She's out on her ear. Wakanda party is what that is. Migrants clashed with police at a deportation site in South Africa where thousands have gathered, and people are getting upset at the migrants now, these criminal alien invaders, because they're clashing with police. Police fired rubber bullets and used stun grenades against migrants protesting Wednesday near a community hall. They're not migrants. Why do they keep saying migrants? These people are are criminal alien invaders. There's no two ways around it. They have invaded the country and they've entered illegally, and they're there profiting from it. It's unbelievable. I mean, stop calling them migrants. They are not migrants. And this is what we saw yesterday. I mean, this just, affirms all sorts of stereotypes about Africa, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yeah, the premier of KwaZulu-Natal said nearly 10,000 Malawians now have been camping at the park. So the number's up to 10,000 now. Initially started with 800. We're up to 10,000. Meanwhile, our dear friends from the Housewives of Pretoria are in the news again, making the news once more. Here is our friends Mel and Pete Viljoen. Pete is behind bars at this hour after a fraud arrest and must await bail. Disbarred lawyer Pete Viljoen, popularly known for his stint on The Real Housewives of Pretoria, is set to remain behind bars until next week after his brief appearance in the Pretoria Specialized Commercial Crimes Court today. He's facing 400 charges, including corruption, fraud, theft, and perjury. Yet, $582,000 was illegally brought into South Africa and stuffed in a couch for 2 months in Palapala in a money laundering operation, and we have no one arrested for that. But Pete's arrested on 16-year-old charges. What's the difference between this grifter and another grifter? This guy's white and not the President of the Republic. Not defending Pete, just pointing out the obvious. Just pointing out the obvious. From High Life in the U.S., not really. They were stealing apparently from a Publix grocery store because they didn't have money. To Kosi Mampuru, Pete Viljoen faces 400 fraud, theft, and corruption charges. Here he is smiling in court, ever putting up a bold face, bright face. Disbarred lawyer and alleged shoplifter Pete Viljoen, who previously flaunted his lavish lifestyle in the U.S., now finds himself in a cell in prison, facing more than 400 charges of fraud, theft, forgery, and corruption, totaling more than 27 million rand. 27 million rand. $580,000, ladies and gentlemen, is 10 million rand. But nothing from that. Pete appeared in court, and Mel showed up to support him. Oh, that's lovely. Wearing a Hugo Boss jacket. Is that a knockoff? He's arrested on allegations of fraud, theft, forgery, uttering, and contravention of Section 4 of the Prevention and Combating Corrupt Activities Act of 2004. Meanwhile, good news for South Africa is its rapprochement sending off Ronald Lamola, the unaccomplished foreign minister, actually achieved something for once. South Africa wanted to take steps to lift travel and trade restrictions that have been in place for a dozen years because of the ANC's stupidity. They've been striving for diplomatic détente since 2018, 4 years after a flurry of expulsions followed the murder of a Rwandan dissident in Joburg. As South Africa fine-tunes its immigration laws and visa regulations, we also follow with a keen interest the enormous strides Rwanda has made in modernizing its visa regime, which continues to remain attractive for various categories of visas, including visa-free and visa-on-arrival dispensation, said Ronald Lamola. So, Rwanda and South Africa having a rapprochement. It's long overdue. Nice to see. Nice to see. Gate McKenzie is warning members of his party about joining the March and March protest. Now, this is an interesting development. Perhaps his boss, Daddy Cyril, told him to knock it off. Patriotic Alliance leader Gate McKenzie has warned party members to stay away from planned March and March protests linked to the 30 June deadline over illegal foreigners, saying the party will not tolerate violence and would expel anyone who assaults foreign nationals. Well, that's the right stance, but is it because Daddy told him to do it, or is it because he really believes it? After all, he's been leading the charge against foreign nationals in the country. Peter Dutoy says the Public Investment Corporation has $3.6 trillion under investment. Okay, don't take your eyes off of it. Now, this is not listed under opinion, but it's... Oh, there it is. I'm sorry, it is under opinion. My bad. So, claims and allegations against senior SARS executives started going around, which were amplified by social media accounts and influencers, followed by news reports based on claims of the launch of independent investigations and finally a purge of senior leaders. The PIC's portfolio is enormous. It has access to deep cash reservoirs. During the state capture, it was a target for extraction, and the Commission of Inquiry led by retired Judge Lex Mpati made sweeping findings and recommendations about governance. Wow. But what's happening there? Inside Jordan Hill Lewis's purge, Steenhuisen set to pay the price for rupture with farmers. Well, he's set to pay the price for his arrogance. There's Bill-tongue Barbie. DA leader Jordan Hill Lewis kept WhatsApping his friend, Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen, about the rapid rupture between the farming community and Steenhuisen's office, specifically his chief of staff, Yana LaRue. She threatened a stakeholder with legal action, Rapport reported, and then dismissed farmers' concerns in an email chain, as Danielle Schaafsma reported here. During a foot-and-mouth disease epidemic that's gutted a sector remains out of control, went down like a ton of bricks. Yes, Bill-tongue Barbie blew it for John Steenhuisen. There's a breakdown in the farming sector, said a senior DA official who could not be quoted. If the party's taken damage, the job of the leaders to protect the party. It's a difficult thing to do, but we had no choice. We had no choice. Well, you waited about 2 years too long. That's the problem for the DA. Well, John Steenhuisen's arrogant asshattery in an attempt to insult members of his own country, calling them Afro-MAGA movement, has backfired. He is now bounced out on his ear. Afro-MAGA celebrates Steenhuisen's exit as Hill Lewis moves to do damage control to the DA brand. Well, the catastrophic damage done to the Democratic Alliance by this single-handed force of destruction, this arrogant, disrespectful, condescending, dismissive clown, has done catastrophic damage to the Democratic Alliance. And I know they've done it because the DA sycophants have come out in full force and are writing comments in my videos. Well, who are you to stick your nose in South Africa's business? Well, I am who I am, a historian and political scientist. And like many historians and political scientists who cover Africa, I will cover it at my own desire and my own whim. And if you don't like that, that's too bad. If you don't think I should be covering South Africa, then you should tell Tux to disband its American Studies program, because nobody in South Africa has the right to study American jurisprudence, political scene, or its economy if I can't study South Africa. What a bunch of silly juvenile kids. But clearly, I'm striking a chord because I'm reporting the facts about the unraveling of the Democratic Alliance. Well, good news for Tongaat Hulett. It survives its business reassessment, whatever we're calling this in South Africa. It's bankruptcy. Tongaat Hulett, the massive sugarcane company, escapes liquidation and urges sugar import crackdown. So they want protectionism. The agreement preserves 250,000 jobs and supports future of more than 1 million livelihoods, which is why it could not be allowed to fail. Tongaat Hulett is too big to fail. The 134-year-old sugar company was nearly liquidated. Deal brought some relief to industry hit hard by imports from Eswatini, Brazil, India, and Guatemala. The agreement reached yesterday follows weeks of uncertainty after the 134-year-old sugar giant came close to liquidation following a filing in February for business reorganization. It will convert a 2.5 billion rand claim into equity and extend post-commencement finance to support Tongaat's continued trading during implementation. Trade and Industry Competition Minister Parks Tao said Tongaat is a strategic asset in South Africa's agricultural and manufacturing sectors, supporting thousands of direct and indirect jobs and underpinning the economic activity across KwaZulu-Natal and other parts of southern Africa. No comment from Parks Tao's deputy, John Steenhuisen. John Steenhuisen was not available for comment for this portfolio. He's just learning. It's his job. When other African billionaires cross the 20 billion mark, it's not just Elon Musk who's a trillionaire, but now Johan Rupert, safe in his residence with his windows open, taking in the air, no threats to his safety. Johan Rupert is now a $20 billion man. Wow. He is Africa's second richest individual behind Dangote. 136th richest person in the world with a net worth of $20 billion. His valuation of his business assets gained in a single day. 24 hours prior, when he went up 427 million, he went up another 400. It was up 463 million to the year, and then a day later, he was up 724 million dollars in value, an additional $250 million in a single day. Johan Rupert gained 261 billion dollars or $1 million in value in a single day. $261 million. I've never had that kind of return. Wow. Yes, Tongat was a safe company before it became a BE compliant actor. That's right. Gunmen have attacked the airport in Niamey. Explosions and gunfire heard in the last couple hours. Niamey. Yeah. Gunmen attacked the main airport in Niger's capital of Niamey early this morning, leading to an exchange of fire and explosions. Security forces deployed to repel the attack after the gunman breaching airport security. It's the second attack on the international airport this year after the Islamic State group claimed responsibility for a similar attack in January that targeted Niger's drone assets. Niger has been led by an illegitimate military junta since 2023 coup. And the Islamists are striking back after abandoning U.S. military intelligence and military support. Now they're struggling to hold back the jihadists. Surprise, surprise, not. Well, before Hormuz traffic resumes, up to 600 ships and 20,000 soldiers have to get out of the Gulf. It could take 3 months to clear mines and get stranded tankers to transit the strait, and 9 months for Gulf states to restore production to February 27th capacity. Wow. Here's a ship during seizure by the Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Speaking of the G7 on June 17th, President Trump said the memorandum will be formally signed by Vice President J.D. Vance in Geneva no later than the 19th, but the U.S. has already signed it, so that's old news. Well, we'll see if these ships get clear from the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, Iran's president is quite chuffed, yes. Iran's president hails the U.S. deal as a historic document. He signed the agreement on his official X account. He posted that. Wow, of course it's a historic agreement for Iran. It's wonderful. Iran now gets $300 billion to buy a new navy, to build more missiles, to complete its nuclear weapons program. It is told that it will not have a nuclear weapons program, but in the next paragraph of the Memorandum of Understanding, it says it will maintain the status quo, which is developing a nuclear weapons program. Iran gets $300 billion. Wow. We defeated them, and we're paying for it? I don't want to hear what President Trump says that, well, we're not going to pay U.S. cent. It doesn't matter. Anybody gives money to the terror mullahs who sponsor Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis is brain dead. These people need to be exterminated, not rewarded for a conflict that they began in 1979, murdering thousands of American citizens and causing chaos and carnage throughout the Middle East. And we're going to reward them with $300 million because they lost the war? No wonder the Iranian president says it's a historic deal. He's spot on. It is a historic deal for him. Good stuff. Good stuff for him, but not for the rest of us. Not for the rest of us. A crazy, crazy world. I mean, what kind of world are these people living in? It's unbelievable that we would strike a deal like this. And I know it's a memorandum of understanding, but that memorandum of understanding is garbage. Absolute garbage. Times of Israel agrees with me, but President Trump doesn't. President Trump says I'm stupid. I'm a fool for criticizing his brain-dead agreement. Well, I guess that's life. Trump's deal is catastrophic. Capitulation to Iran's aggressors leaves Israel vulnerable and constrained, says the Times of Israel. Wow. In the first meeting, the Iranian negotiators said to us directly with no shame that they control 460 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium and that they were aware that they can make 11 nuclear bombs with that. That was from Steve Witkoff, who recalled that aghast. The Iranians, he exclaimed, were proud that they had evaded all sorts of oversight protocols to get to a place where they could deliver 11 nuclear bombs. They also claimed to have an inalienable right to enrich nuclear fuel, saying that he and Kushner had responded robustly by declaring that your president feels we have the inalienable right to stop you dead in your tracks. 3.5 months later, the U.S. will on Friday formally sign a memorandum, which we've already signed, that resolves none of the goals of the war. None of the goals of Witkoff and Kushner attempt to resolve in their negotiated effort to avert the war. Yep, according to official text read aloud to reporters, including the Times of Israel's Jacob Magritte, by a senior official during a phone briefing on Wednesday, the 14-point MOU potentially grants the regime hundreds of billions of dollars, which it will doubtless utilize to keep its restrictive population in line, massively fund Hezbollah, Hamas, and its other terrorist proxies, and to spend as needed on its nuclear and ballistic missile programs. The MOU provides for the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, the vital waterway, but it allows them to charge tolls after 60 days. Incredibly, MOU already rewards the regime for its intransigence. It states that Iran's nuclear needs will be addressed if a framework for doing so is agreed. Last month, a senior Israeli official warned that the stockpile was not removed in the wake of the war. This is insanity. Absolutely insanity. Absolute insanity. It's crazy. Beyond all comprehension. The United Kingdom has sentenced 2 men to up to 10 years in jail for spying for China. Wow. Slightly longer sentences for 18-year-olds carrying the Union Jack on a British street. Former British immigration officer, and a Hong Kong trade official convicted of spying on pro-democracy activists fleeing to the UK from Hong Kong. Wei Che-lung and Yung Chong-view, both British and Chinese nationals, were found guilty in May under the National Security Act. You can't be a national of two countries. This is part of the problem. Yep, spies for the Chinese communists. Well, UK inflation has remained steady at 2.8%, as slower producer prices have kept things from getting out of control. Finland has voted to lift the nuclear weapons ban. This is not good news for security in northeastern Europe. Finnish officials said the change strengthens Finland's security and NATO's deterrence posture and threatens Russia. Exactly what Russia warned about. Finnish lawmakers voted to remove a decades-old ban on nuclear weapons, a move that supporters say will strengthen the country's security and bring its laws in line with NATO's nuclear deterrence policy. The June 17th vote amends Finland's Nuclear Energy Act, which since 1987 has prohibited the import, manufacture, possession, or detonation of nuclear explosives on Finnish territory. The bill now goes to the president for final approval. Wow. Finland, of course, joined NATO in April of 2023 after decades of neutrality. There's Finnish President Alexander Stubb speaking to the media last year. Ooh, what is happening? Trump signs the Iran deal, says it will stave off economic crisis, prevent nuclear program. I don't think it'll do the second. It might do the first, but it's not going to do the second. We're going to bomb the hell out of them if they violate the agreement. I don't want them to. I want them to honor the agreement. Well, it's Iran. They're not going to honor any agreement. It's just their nature. President Trump has invoked the Defense Production Act as U.S. munitions stockpiles dwindle. President Trump has invoked the Cold War-era Defense Production Act to spur the production of more munitions, stockpiles of which have dwindled amid the war with Iran and years of heavy American military aid to allies such as Ukraine and Israel. I hereby find the conditions exist which may pose a direct threat to national defense or its preparedness programs, in particular systemic constraints in munitions industrial base, limiting production capacity of fragile supply chains, yada, 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 yada. So now we're running out of bombs. We're running out of bombs because of Israel and because of Iran. Why don't we have more bombs in storage? Dairy companies can now apply for H-2A visas. Wow, look at that. Why were they prohibited before? It's part of the agriculture sector. Department of Homeland Security and Department of Labor have issued new guidance clarifying that dairy businesses nationwide can employ foreign nationals through the H-2A visa temporary worker program. Wow. Unfortunately, this nation's single agricultural visa program, the H-2A program, focuses on a seasonal or temporary need for workers. It excludes dairy farmers with year-round needs for participation. So now you'll be able to do it. It's addressing a labor shortage. Well, congratulations to the dairy sector, long in need of this sort of benefit. Well, the New York Knicks owner has confirmed that the Knicks NBA champions will be going to the White House while the Seahawks are sitting on the back burner. New York Knicks have received and accepted the invitation to visit the White House to celebrate the NBA championship, owner James Dolan confirmed yesterday. Meanwhile, the Seattle Seahawks visit appears to be on the back burner months after the team won the Super Bowl. Good. We don't want Seattle Seahawks at the White House. They can stay in Seattle. An Indiana professor who taught anti-white supremacy lesson loses her job because she's a racist. Well, at least that's what they're claiming. Yep. Indiana University instructors showed a graphic in class that listed the Make America Great Again slogan as covert white supremacists lost their job. Administrators suspended the instructor, Jessica Adams, in October from teaching the course Diversity, Human Rights, and Social Justice after Senator Jim Banks contacted the campus about the lecture. In May, after a careful review, they said will not reappoint her, and she doesn't have tenure. Well, we don't need race hustlers like this who insult America to be teaching at university. Governor Gavin Newsom announces free access to California parks. Wow. Governor Newsom announces special free pass to California's state historic parks in honor of Juneteenth and America's 250th anniversary. So this is lovely. It's nice of the governor of California to allow free access to state parks. That's brilliant. I appreciate that. It's very kind of him. Unfortunately, once again, this hate monger used official government website, gov.ca.gov, that would be California state website, to spew hatred and anti-Americanism and directed against the administration. This is a rogue retard. In celebration of Juneteenth, a fake holiday, and 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, Governor Gavin Newsom announced that California State Parks is offering a special free version of his historian passport, which usually costs $50 a year, for admission of up to 4 people per pass and more than 30 state historic parks and throughout the state. That's lovely. While President Trump ends free admission to national parks on Juneteenth, uses entry fees to fund his latest vanity project, and attempts to whitewash the past, California is making incredible sites that preserve the state's complex history free to visit through a special limited pass. Of course, these are all fairy tales and exaggerations about what Trump is doing. So, California values versus Trump's hate. The free special edition that gives more than 200 state parks, offers free entry on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and provides another stark contrast with the Trump administration, which directed National Park Service no longer offer free entry on MLK and Juneteenth. So look at this. Oh, look at all the things they say they do. No invasive questions. And look at this. Wow. Gavin Newsom using an official state website to spread his hatred of the country. After more than 50 years, Pratt & Whitney is shutting down their factory in Israel. 4 years of struggle to prevent the closure of the plant formerly owned by the Wertheimer family. The 600 workers will be laid off. U.S. jet engine maker Pratt & Whitney has begun shutting down its blades technology, compressor, and turbine blades plant in Neriah after more than 50 years, leading to loss of 600 jobs in Israel's north. Shame. Pratt & Whitney can't sell engines? That's crazy. Doesn't seem normal. U.S. travelers are warned after deadly rides and sexual assaults tied to beach vendors. Embassy issued an advisory about jet ski rentals from operators who are unlicensed and uninsured. Americans being urged to steer clear of jet ski rentals in the Bahamas as U.S. officials warn of sketchy operators linked to deaths, injuries, and reported sexual assaults. The rogue operators are often unlicensed, uninsured, and operating unsafe watercraft. Embassy advised all U.S. citizens to avoid renting jet skis in the Bahamas, beware of the solicitors near the cruise port and popular beaches, and always follow local weather and marine alerts. Wow. We've lost American lives to prevent accidents. Multiple visitors have been hospitalized. That's crazy. U.S. government employees are banned from renting or riding jet skis in the Bahamas. So now they're telling tourists the same. Top Republican Bill Cassidy, who was bounced out in his ears, says Trump's deal has Reagan rolling over in his grave. Well, Bill Cassidy's right for once. This memorandum of understanding is a disaster. It's a disaster. Let me just put this at the end. Save that for the end. U.S. men's national legend Landon Donovan demands United Airlines apology for horrible treatment between World Cup coverage. Well, special people think they're special, and now they've been treated just like the rest of us, a crappy service from U.S. Airlines. Former U.S. men's national team forward is part of the Fox Sports English language World Cup coverage, and he travels a lot. He wound up in a terrible situation. He says, I've been traveling 100,000 miles a year since I was 16, and this is easily the worst travel experience of my life. No transparency, no clarity, no respect for passengers who were treated horribly all evening, all morning. Absolutely shameful for United Airlines. So ridiculous. We were on the runway about to take off, and the pilot was literally 1 minute past his time and decided to take us back to the gate at 3 a.m. Well, that's not ridiculous, Landon Donovan. You're a fool. Pilots must have the sleep that they're required. You cannot go fly for an hour or 2 hours when you're supposed to be on crew rest. Now, you can blame United Airlines for being ignorant and disrespectful and rude to its passengers, but you cannot question pilot safety. That is just stupid. Just stupid. Well, Muslim Texan who sought to bum rush a Republican convention, his feelings are hurt. He thinks the Republicans are evil because they won't employ Sharia, which is anathema to a democracy. A Muslim Texan sought to find his place in the party at the state GOP convention. He left in tears. Muslim delegates attendees hoping to participate in the state Republican convention were shunned and rejected by members as they espoused themes of party unity ahead of November election. To some extent, Mohammed Hussein knew he was preparing to enter the lion's den, but he made the decision to attend the Republican Party of Texas convention to confirm for himself that he had a place in the GOP, even as members of the party have railed for months about the urgency of ending Sharia law and the so-called Islamification of Texas. There is an Islamification in Texas. What he found was a party that didn't want him. He arrived with hope but left in tears after being told explicitly that he should leave the country. When they say Sharia-free, that means Muslim-free, no practices of Islam. No one is calling for the state to implement Sharia laws. Oh, contraire, buddy. We've seen it in London. We've seen it elsewhere. We've seen these Islamic enclaves undermine the rule of law in Western countries. So spare me your whining and crying. You intend to implement Sharia law, but the mere fact you're saying that the Republicans don't want Sharia law, which means they don't want you, means that you want Sharia law. Don't you see the disconnect in your stupid statement there? Well, here's the text of that agreement, and it's atrocious. 14 paragraphs. A disaster for the United States. I'm not going to read that. I did it last night on my radio program. We're going to skip that. So, let's see if we can't find out what's going on with Bafana Bafana. Oh, they're already losing. They're already losing. 15 minutes in, they're already trailing. They're already trailing. Wow. Wow. Bafana Bafana is already losing 1-0. Yeah, assimilate or get out of town. Exactly.
What can be difficult at times, because you've already mentioned it, there's a number of players that play for South Africa.
So it's already 1-0, just 15 minutes into the contest. South Africa is losing. Why is it so dark? It's in Atlanta. Is this an indoor stadium? Bafana Bafana with the ball now and not looking very impressive so far. Oh, they're in front of the net. Here's a chance. They got a breakaway on the outside, on the wing. Kicks it over the middle. Oh, and they muffed it. A wide open shot on the goal. He was ahead of the defender. Yep. Hey, Erica, what's going on? Trying to infiltrate Republican Party. Exactly. And he was told he's not welcome here, and his feelings are hurt. He's trying to paint the Republicans as bigots. Yeah, they lasted 15 minutes. Well, here they just had a chance, an easy goal. The goalkeeper was on the far right-hand side of the net, and the whole 80% of the left side was wide open, and Bafana muffed the ball, kicked it into dead zone. Banana is 0-5. Yep, so South Africa minus 3 points right now, and they're at the bottom of the pool based on this score, 1-0. So Bafana will likely be bounced out after this game. They had to win this game. We'll see what happens. Maybe they'll come back, but don't hold your breath. Two of the Bafana players just tripped over each other. I think that's a statement on Bafana quite clearly. Oh, now there's a foul. Oh, these crybabies. Look at these guys. Guy was barely touched. He's rolling down. Oh, you got a female referee. Got a female referee. Wow, I didn't know we had female referees in FIFA. Let's see. I mean, he just, oh gosh, give me, well, not even on the shin. It was on the side of his leg. Yeah, the opposition doesn't even need a goal. That's right. And South Africa will be out of it. So, yep, they've got to come back and score. I saw a YouTube video with Muslims saying they're leaving UK and their women say they're afraid of being attacked because of Islamophobic. Well, okay, well. Oh, you like the refugee interviews, Loretta? Cool. Thank you, Loretta, for your membership. 16 months. Appreciate that. So here's a penalty kick from the Czech Republic, and it goes far outside. There's a header. They've got the ball still. And a kick on goal, but it goes wide. Yep. So that's the news for today, folks. The only other thing I wanted to show you is this, the safest or the most peaceful countries in the world. Let's see what you guys have to say. The 20 most peaceful countries in the world, according to Business Insider. Okay? Number 20, Australia. Ranked 34th for international conflict. Safety 23, militarization 48. Latvia, Mauritius, the Netherlands, Bhutan, Hungary, Budapest, Canada, the Czech Republic, Malaysia, Denmark, Japan, Finland, the second most safe country in the world, according to this. Singapore, the sixth safest country in the world. Portugal. Austria. All the mountains in Austria, the Alps, and they show a hideous picture of Vienna. Ireland. Slovenia. Switzerland is number 3. New Zealand is number 2. And Iceland is the most peaceful country in the world, according to this. Iceland was named most peaceful country for the 19th consecutive year. It ranked first in ongoing domestic and international conflict and militarization domains, but it's also one of the world's most expensive countries. Yep. For Americans looking to relocate overseas, Iceland offers the highest level of safety as well as breathtaking landscapes and crappy weather. I've been there. I love Iceland, but it's crappy weather. Interesting. It says written by Grace Dean, but then we have a picture of Grace Dean who's white, and then we have a picture of Grace Dean black. I don't know. Anyway, so Iceland. So it's still 1-0, 20 minutes into the game now. Sharia law makes, okay. I'm not sure how many California parks still exist after fires and housing. Yeah, that's a good question. Maze Rolling can do anything right. Good here. Oh, Ronnie Lamola. Oh, another Czech player crying on the ground. Oh.
See clean towards the ball. Two-handed push in the back from Ocon that followed him all the way.
Bafana shoved a guy in the back, and then he fell down, and he acted like he was, assaulted. I'm new to geopolitics and have an honest question. In light of Trump's catastrophic, why is America unable to win game military outcome, especially in the Middle East, given a superior military? Oh, that's a good question, Sonia. We can, but it requires determination of the people in charge, and obviously Trump doesn't have the determination to finish the job. And, of course, we could all be wrong. Maybe Trump's got something up his sleeve. The U.S. can win in the Middle East. We spanked Iran's nuclear program last year. Then we launched this campaign, but we're not following through. Maybe the issue is real. Maybe we're out of bombs. Maybe we don't have any munitions because we gave them all to Ukraine. We squandered our defensive position and drained our stockpiles by arming Ukraine to murder Russians. That might be the real reason why we can't finish this thing in Iran. I mean, almost nobody's talking about that. They keep talking about how we're running out of missiles and weapons and bombs, and maybe it's because we've supplied the Ukrainians. They keep saying Israel, but it's not Israel that we're supplying. Israel produces most of its own munitions. There are exceptions like tomahawks, not tomahawks. Excuse me. Damn it. Air defense missiles. Oh, look, it's Gate McKenzie up in the stands in Atlanta. So we let Gate McKenzie in the country. Yep. So this Czech Republic, that guy's clearly not Czech. I don't know what the heck he is. He's Czech. You can tell looking at him. Yep, anyway. So there's a shot on goal, and it went in. Did they just score again? There's that's a replay of the goal earlier. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so Sonia, I think that's the answer to your question, is we may be out of ammunition. I mean, might come down to that. I mean, we have been supplying 4 years a war in Ukraine, draining our Patriot missile. That's what's running. Our Patriot missiles, our Hawk batteries, all drained, sent over to murder Russians, conscripts. Yeah, what a foolhardy decision. So maybe we're running out of munitions. I think that might be it. There may be an unofficial deal, and maybe this is saving face, but it doesn't save face for the U.S. It looks very bad for the U.S. to let the Iranians save face. Why should we let them save face? They're bastards. Yanni Alan. Who is Yanni Alan? Yes, Karen, Trump did call out Obama over this when he was a private citizen and as president. Obama loaded U.S. military planes $1.7 billion in U.S. paper currency and shipped it to Iran and gave it to them. $1.7 billion. Trump is talking about giving them $24 billion that's currently frozen, plus another $300 billion. We're talking about $1/3 of $1 trillion to the terror state of Iran. It's insane. You don't have to agree with me. You can disagree with me and think that it's a good deal, but I don't see how it's a good deal. I don't see how it's a good deal. Nutella peanut, that's new. Big Fish says Steve Knights will be fired and go over the ANC. By the way, last night I missed it, but somebody sent me a note and said there were a lot of people in the chat last night who said that they're coming to Pennsylvania. Big Fish, were you one of them? Said you're coming to Pennsylvania as refugees? Wow. Sharon, thank you for 35 Rand super sticker. I missed that. Thank you for that. Apologies. And then it's with Hermanus Lang, 140 Rand. Thank you, super sticker. Thank you for that. How did I miss that too? Guess I'm just deep into doing the news. Sorry about I missed that one too. Come on, where's it at? There's that one. Guess it was a while ago. Thank you for the super chats. Really appreciate that. Email this morning from my medical's happy. I'm moving along nice. I only signed up around March, says Rust Monkey. Yeah, you said that last night. We heard you. Hydration break at 25 minutes. Czech Republic leading 1-0 over Bafana Bafana. Bafana Bafana has a big hill to climb now, and they look kind of disorganized. The coach is not talking to them. They're just kind of arguing amongst themselves on the pitch. Yeah, not looking good. They're hideous green and yellow uniforms. They look like bananas. They look like unripened bananas. Yeah, Garrett, I think they had nukes a while ago. Spook and Les are going to Harrisburg. Okay. Iowa. Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, there's no camping on my lawn. But if they're here next week, I may not be around, so we'll see. Wow. Well, of the 3 families that have come here, there's only one that I still really associate with. The first family, they buggered off. They have nothing they need from me, so that's fine. And then Voroshka is the only one I still stay in contact with. The other family has no interest, so that's fine. People want to say hello, want to do things, that's fine. Yeah, if not, that's fine. That's their prerogative. I'm not looking for friends. I'm just trying to help people. So this is in Atlanta, and that's where Zane is at, the guy that filmed with me this week when I was in Atlanta. So, yep. Tomorrow, the USA is playing. Yes, idiots out walking around. South Africa's had 3 shots on goal and 2 crosses, according to the stat. And they're currently with the ball. Let's see what they do with it. Boy, if Bafana scores a goal here. You know, they haven't scored in this tournament yet. It'll be a lifetime changer for that one person who scored. Oh, there it is, and he missed the ball. He had it, and he missed it right in front of the net. And now the Czech Republic's running the other way. I was hoping to be one of the first on your lawn, says Bitterender. Okay, Bitterender. Well, Voroshka got here before any of the rest of you did. South Africa's had most of the possession, 54-41, but they're not doing anything. Fleeing Pikachu. Fleeing Pikachu. What's that all about? Definitely see each other that much. I promise you, this big fish. No, the news is over, Cool Beans. The news is over, Cool Beans. I'm done with the news. Sorry. You can, if you got questions about anything, politics, culture, language, religion, sports, refugees, I'll answer. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you for guarding the wall there, Cool Beans, but we can take refugee questions now. The news is over. I should have announced it. I thought I did. Sean has been quiet. Well, Sean's fine. He's been in touch with me. Sean's been in touch with me. He's doing fine. They have, I think they got a vehicle now. They already got jobs. And so, yeah, they're doing well. They're not going to stay where they're at, most likely, but they're going to get everything sorted before they decide to move around. Yep, so anyway. Whoops, before I kicks it into touch. Into touch. I think I'm watching rugby. Fleeing Pikachu, sorry I missed this. It's okay. Thank you for the 14 Rand. Very kind of you to share it. And now the Czechs are having a hard time getting the ball inbounds, and they wind up getting inbounds to the Bafana side. These offside rules in soccer are so silly. Kasatu striking tomorrow, Lucy. I didn't even know that. It wasn't announced in the media. I've been checking the media last night and again early this morning. I haven't seen anything. I've seen anything about them. That's definitely a woman, but she's kind of beefcakey. She's not big, just, she's fit, but these stupid tattoos these players have. The guy's got a tattoo on his thigh. I don't get this. Whatever. It's his personal choice. So Bafana has the ball now, almost 30 minutes into it. I mean, this is why it's like watching paint dry. There's been nonstop protest days at the moment. Yeah, that's true. Well, the news report, I didn't cover it, said that a ranger or a guide accidentally discharged a weapon and shot and killed a tourist. Yep. Rugby players also have tattoos. Well, good for them. I don't like those either. Circling Quagmire. I made my position on tattoos pretty clear. Please, can we, as co-pilot or Grok, how many celebrities? You can do that, but that's not going to tell you anything. They don't have any information. It's going to tell you that it's not available publicly. Yeah. And that's intentional that they don't release it. That ball goes into out of play. Single parent with 2 minor children go over as the refugees. Will she only have financial assistance for herself? Oh, jeez. Okay. We've answered this thousands of times. You get one-time grant from the federal government, $2,450 per refugee. That's not per adult. That's not per child. That's per refugee in your family. So if your family is 3, a single mother with 2 children, you're going to get 3 times $2,450. Now, most agencies will retain $450 allowed to do it. So basically, you need to plan on $6,000. From that, you probably need $1,000 for a deposit to rent a place and $1,000 the first month's rent. So you're down to $4,000 already. It's going to cost you $200 a week for groceries. So that's $1,000 after 1 month. You're down to just $3,000 after month 1. You need to plan on that. This is not a welfare program. So if you're coming here as a welfare candidate, then you're knocking on the wrong door. If you're coming here to escape persecution, then there's limited assistance and you have to be prepared to hit the ground running. Now, some things are beyond your control. Your social security number and your EID are what you need, but getting a job is on you. The agencies are supposed to help you, but some of them are good, some of them are not. So you need to prepare to find your own job. And finding a job is not sitting online and submitting resumes electronically. That's one way. Going and knocking on doors is another. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Bulls are going to win this. I think I already picked the Bulls win by 7. I'm going to take a risk here and say it's the Bulls' time finally. But their discipline has to improve. And that was a question I asked of Johan Ackerman. What about the discipline? Are you concerned about it? Yep. I'm predicting the Bulls by 7. They're not at Aviva, they're at Croak. Fleeing Pikachu, again, the response wasn't directed at you. It's a question been asked many times, and that's why I give the answer over and over again. So you're welcome to ask for a friend. Whether you asked for it or your friend was asking, it's not directed at you. This is not about you. This is about answering the question that was asked, which many people have asked and I've answered previously. So do not take offense. Do not take joy. Do not be angry. Not be sad. It's not directed at anyone here. I say that so many times, but it doesn't sink in. So there you go. You feel like you blew yours. How do you blow it? I don't see any Sammy here. Why is there? I mean, some people chat with people. I don't even see them in the chat. There it is. Okay. Is it normal that I was not permitted to show my evidence? There's nothing normal, Sammy. I can't answer a question. I didn't sit in your interview, so I don't know what happened in your interview. I don't know how it went. You don't need evidence. Okay. That's the problem. So let's just talk about that. So I wasn't there, so I don't know what you mean by did you blow it. As a refugee, you're not required to present evidence of anything. That's for an asylum seeker. Refugees have to articulate. Did you explain what happened to you? That's all you have to do. If you have evidence, that's great, but it's not necessary unless they ask for it. Martin says that a medical exemption is 89, so you didn't serve in the Army. Church World Service asking for Army letter. Where is the Irene base to go? Why are they asking for a letter when you never served in the military? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand. So did you report to the military and you were discharged after a few days? I mean, why would someone need a letter to prove a negative? You don't need a letter to prove a negative. That doesn't make any sense. And where is the Irene base? I don't know what an Irene base is. Somebody, is Chris Ehlers here? Chris Ehlers knows you can get your documents from Pretoria from the military. So I'm not sure what you mean by an Irene base. Is that a typo? As a single refugee, what happens if you use your $2,000 the first month just for rent before you get Social Security number? What do you do for food? Well, Karen, we've covered this a bazillion times too. You use food banks, you get free food. Americans are generous. I don't know about Ruben from the October group, whether he's arrived or not. That was an unusual interview. I don't usually do that. Sir Glenn Quagmire said, I heard on Breaking Points that Israel is planning on blackmailing Trump or leaking blackmailing info after he signed the agreement. Well, that's what you get for listening to propaganda. What the hell is Breaking Points? I never heard of Breaking Points. Sounds like some propaganda channel. Marley's with me on tattoos. Another lady who's against tattoos. Thank you. Advice, preparation June 30th in the worst case since KZN keeps it. Okay, yeah, you can ask for advice, Pat. I've given this already, and I will give it in advance. I'm in the process of making another video, but I'm very busy right now. About June 30th. So here's the bottom line. Have you listened to my advice in the past 5 years and done what I told people to do in communities in South Africa? Do you now have Motorola radios for your local self-defense? I hope you do, because your cell phones aren't going to work. This towers are going to get saturated and they're going to collapse. If you rely on cell phones, you're not going to be able to communicate. So, number one, do you have Motorola's? Number two, do you have water storage? Do you have water storage? Lots of water storage. Number three, do you have sawhorses or barriers? Number four, have you rehearsed and organized your group? Do you have weapons of some sort? Do you have a plan to rotate the people on duty protecting your neighborhood at the entrances? You can't all go out there and spend 24 hours out there, then you'll be knackered and then you'll be useless. You have to have a red, green, and amber cycle. You have to have people who are resting, people who are preparing, and people who are serving. And then you have to have a surge capacity. You also have to have leaders. Not these ferrayas, 12 boers and 12, or 10 boers and 12 leaders, but actual, or all the officials females. The one on the side judge is a female too. You have to have leaders. So my advice is you have water, you have medicine, you have radios, you have batteries, you have all of these things prepared ahead of time, and you start rehearsing now. Today's June 18th. You've got almost 2 weeks to rehearse for this and defend your neighborhoods, because it's coming. It's coming. And the police will be really prepared for it, just like 2021. Except now people are listening. They weren't listening to me on June 29th of 2021 when I told them what was coming. Scott Robertson getting fired from the All Blacks. He got fired? I didn't see that, LaCroix. Not a surprise for me. Wow. That's kind of a surprise before this. Scott Robertson got fired? That's news to me. Wow. Former New England rugby coach, or New Zealand rugby coach. Wow. I didn't see he got fired. He got fired? Oh, that's back in January. Okay. Oh, that's a long time ago. I mean, I thought, yeah. Well, you got me confused here. Well, the All Blacks aren't getting it done. They're not world beaters. They're not impressive. So I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a long time ago, a few months ago. You confused me now. You're welcome, Sammy. There you go. Lou says military records from DoD archives, 5 Saturnus Road, Doringkloof, Pretoria. Military records from DoD archives, 5 Saturnus Road, Doringkloof. There you go. There you go. Get your document there. Does that answer the question? Thank you, Lou. Appreciate that. I knew that somebody had that answer. You're not allowed to take notes or anything with you for your live interview. It's therefore important to recall what you've stated in the questionnaire as they compare. I'm not sure that's true, Last Domino. I think that conflicts with some people were told earlier on what experience. It's a big independent YouTube news channel. Some of the members are anchors on the Hill. Okay. So they're spreading rumors without any substantiation. Who are their sources? Never heard of them. Breaking points. Tried to explain, but clammed up and cried. I struggled to articulate despite having practice. Okay, Sammy. Okay. Can I ask your advice? Prep. Okay, yeah. Okay, I just want to see if I have a gap somewhere in prep. So if you got water, if you got rations, canned goods, things that will keep, preserve, and you need to be prepared. You need to rehearse. You need to go through things. You need to rehearse what will happen if this happens, if that happens. Oh, Bafana almost screwed up again. Wow. They kicked the ball almost to 3 different attackers right in front of the net. They're lucky it went into the out of bounds. Yeah, hopefully that answers that question for you. Yep. Sonia says, I don't want to upset you, Colonel, but I'm starting to feel that silent denials are going to be a thing for this program. Well, Sonia, that's a problem because that's illegal. Under the law, they must inform you. So what you're claiming is that people are violating the law, and that's a prosecutable offense. You can be prosecuted for violating the law. You can't simply refuse to deny people. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Somebody explain to me why they would deny people and not tell them. Somebody give me motivation for that. I mean, I'm listening. So the claim or the allegation here is that there are silent denials. They're not telling South Africans they've been denied. So tell me why. Why would they do that? I'm listening. Anybody. Thank you, Sir Glenn Quagmire. By the way, you popped in late last night. You called them and got an update on your case today. Where did you call them at? In South Africa or America? Because that's odd that they answered. I'm surprised to hear that. Solar crank portable radio today is, yeah, that's a good idea. Solar crank portable radios are a good idea. Yep. Karen, that's good. That's good advice. LaCroix says, I guess technically it was mutual parting. Ebba's haven't been great since McCall retired after cheating while playing victim with the refs. Yeah, no, I think, LaCroix, that's a fair statement on your part. Thank you. I'm sorry I got confused by the question. No, Scott Roberts, but getting stick after the World Cup is a big win for the All Blacks. But the All Blacks have not been world beaters. They're not impressive. Their captain's not that great. Their team is not that great. They are not consistent like they were a while. Yeah, Igoli Mzanzi, I saw Professor G's video earlier. It was rather depressing, and I don't want to get into a dispute with Professor G, but he's simply telling you the truth. But I don't know that it's helpful at this time. So, but that's his prerogative to make that video. Big Fish is out of here. Okay. Yep, and I've got to leave in 4 minutes to go to my dental appointment, folks. So, all right. All right, next time you see me, if the weather isn't bad, although it's been bad in the last few hours, if it isn't bad, you'll be seeing me on live in a few hours with Nini Vanderplas from Gettysburg, if it goes well, okay? And Bafana, oh my goodness, the Czech guy kicked it 30 meters over top of the goalpost. What a pathetic kick that was. All right, that's going to do it for this. Just a filling interview. We've had radio silence 7 months now, and a medical expired a month ago. Sonia, there are people who had radio silence for 15 months and flew yesterday. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's impossible. But from the standpoint that, I don't know how many people want to come over, but if there's 250,000 people at the rate we're going, yeah, it's going to take forever, if ever. My late comment this morning just reiterated what you said about the madness. Okay, great. So you agree with me, Glenn. That's what I'm saying. It was kind of frustrating. That comes in. I already covered it. I thought you were trolling. Anyway, yeah, I covered it. It's madness. The deal is insane. It doesn't make any sense to me. And people are all defending Trump. And great, defend Trump. I hope you're right. I hope you're right, but I don't see any indication that we've done anything other than squandered tens of billions of dollars and 13 lives for a decision that gives Iran things they didn't even have before the war. I mean, oh, that was a terrible kick. Bafana chokes it up again. All right, that's it. Got to go. I'll see you later on. Thanks for being here. Again, all female referees. What's going on here with FIFA? Wow. Anyway, cheers, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate it. Great having you all on the program. Be sure to hit that like button. Anybody hit the like button yet? We got 189 likes. A little bit of super chat revenue. That's helpful. Thank you. Cheers.